the journey to speaking English fluently. Arif had always admired people who spoke fluent English. He would watch interviews of famous personalities, listen to his teachers' lectures, and hear tourists speak confidently. Their words flowed smoothly, while his own English felt broken, hesitant, and full of mistakes. In school, whenever the teacher asked a question in English, Arif lowered his gaze, hoping he wouldn't be called. But one day, his worst fear came true. "Arif, please read this paragraph," his English teacher, Mr. Roy, said. His heart pounded. His hands trembled as he held the book. He tried to read, but he stumbled over words. Some of his classmates chuckled. Someone whispered, "He doesn't even know how to pronounce simple words." Arif's face turned red. He sat down quickly, ashamed and humiliated. That evening, he told his mother, "I will never speak English again. It's too hard." His mother gently placed a hand on his shoulder and said, "Do you think you learned to walk in one day? You fell, got up, and tried again. Learning a language is the same. You have to keep trying." Her words stayed in his mind. Maybe he wasn't bad at English. Maybe he just needed to practice more. That night, he made a decision. He would learn to speak English, no matter how long it took. The first steps. The next morning, Arif stood in front of the mirror and spoke in English. "My name is Arif. I want to speak English better." His voice was shaky. He made mistakes. But instead of feeling embarrassed, he smiled. "At least I tried," he thought. He started practicing small conversations with himself. "Good morning. How are you? I like cricket. It is my favorite sport. Can you help me?" At first, it felt strange, but soon it became a habit. Then he made a learning plan. Heavy checkmark listening practice. Watching English movies with subtitles. Heavy checkmark speaking practice. Talking to himself in English. Heavy checkmark reading practice. Reading simple English books and newspapers. Heavy checkmark writing practice. Writing a daily diary in English. He also set a rule with his younger sister, Ria. "We will talk in English for at least 10 minutes every day." Ria giggled. "Bia, your English sounds funny." Arif laughed. "It's okay. If I don't make mistakes, how will I improve?" Facing the fear of speaking in public, one day Mr. Roy announced, "Next week, each of you will give a speech in English in front of class." Arif's stomach twisted in fear. Speaking in front of the whole class? What if I forget my words? Will they laugh again? For days he practiced. He stood in front of the mirror and repeated his speech. "Good morning, everyone. My name is Arif, and today I will talk about my favorite book." His pronunciation was improving. He recorded his voice and listened to it. At first, he hated how he sounded, but with practice, his confidence grew. On the day of the speech, Arif's hands were sweaty as he stood in front of the class. He took a deep breath and started speaking. He made a few mistakes, but this time he didn't stop. When he finished, there was silence. Then Rowan, his best friend, started clapping. Soon, the entire class joined in. Arif felt something he had never felt before: pride. Now the road to fluency. Now, Arif no longer feared English. He started watching interviews in English and repeating sentences like a shadow. He made a conversation buddy, his classmate Priya, who was also trying to improve her English. They would text in English, correct each other's mistakes, and even call each other to practice speaking. One day, his father, who always spoke in Hindi, saw him watching an English documentary. "Beta, do you understand all this?" Arif grinned. "Not all, but I understand enough. And every day I understand more." His father patted his back. "I'm proud of you." The ultimate test. Months later, an American tourist visited their town. The man entered a shop and asked, "Excuse me, can you help me find this address?" The shopkeeper looked confused. No one understood English well enough to help. Arif hesitated. Then he stepped forward. "Yes, sir, I can help you. Go straight, then take a left. The place is near the big temple." The tourist smiled. "Thank you. Your English is very good. Arif felt his heart swell with happiness. Months ago, he had feared speaking. Now, he was helping someone with his English. That evening, he wrote in his diary, "Today, I realize that learning English is not about perfection. It's about progress. If I keep going, one day I will speak fluently." And so, his journey continued. Moral of the story is, 1. Mistakes are part of learning. Don't be afraid of them. 2. Practice every day. Even 10 minutes daily can change your life. 3. Confidence is more important than perfection. Speak, even if you're not fluent. 4. Find ways to make learning fun. Watch movies, talk to friends, and read books. 5. Fluency is a journey, not a race. Keep going, and one day you'll succeed. Final message from this story. To everyone who wants to speak English but is afraid, don't give up. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and one day, English will feel as natural as your native language. Your fluency is growing, even if you don't see it yet. The story ends here. Thanks for watching, subscribe, share, and like the video.